Here's a different type of Mario game, Super Paper Mario on the Wii. But is it any good? Well, let's have a little look. In this Mario game, Princess Peach has been captured again, and Toad, Mario and Luigi assume it's Bowser, because it's always Bowser, and there's nothing better to do in this universe than kidnap a princess and try to force her to marry him.
It's technically bestiality.
But it's not Bowser, it's some flat dick called Count Bleck, and he is set on destroying all worlds and starting anew by creating his own. But for this to work, Bowser and Princess Peach must be wed.
I mean, really, they couldn't think of a better plot than this.
Anyway, this activates the Chaos Heart. Mario is taken to Flipside, which is a dimension between dimensions, where some old twat tells him he needs to find the pure hearts to bang them into the pillars across the Flipside to gain access to Bleck's castle and fuck him up. The Flipside hub world is where you'll have multiple levels and layers to it, and on each level are different places of interest that may become useful throughout the game. On the top level is where you'll find the different worlds, but they'll all be locked until you find a pure heart to unlock them. To find a heart, you must complete the world you have access to by defeating the end boss. Each level can be viewed from two perspectives. The default view is 2D, where you'll play it like any other Mario game, collect coins, etc. By pressing the A button, the perspective will shift behind Mario, so you can see further ahead. You only have a limited time in this view, which the meter will pop up in the left corner so you can keep track of it. If the meter runs out, then you'll lose some health. You can't power up with a mushroom like you may be used to. Instead, you have a health point meter, which will allow for multiple hits. Finding a mushroom will add 5 HP onto the meter. This meter will extend as you progress through the game. When you find a blue mushroom, this will top it up a little bit. When you're in 3D mode, this can help avoid big enemies and reveal secrets, and in order to get through this game, you will have to switch between views frequently. The enemies have HP too, so not all of them will only take one hit to kill. Instead of item power-ups, Mario has sidekicks to help him. Right from the start, you'll have a butterfly called Tippy that will help guide you through sections of the game. By pointing the Wiimote at the screen and move around like you're using a torch, Tippy can reveal secrets and highlight hidden platforms to gain access to higher levels or doors. In addition, she can also give you info on characters if highlighted. Mario also has pixels that will help him out. There are 9 altogether, but some of these are locked until you locate them, plus an additional 3 that are optional. There's Thorough, which can be thrown at enemies to pick them up and throw them, as well as activating switches from a distance. Boomer, a bomb that can defeat enemies when placed on the ground, or reveal hidden entrances in walls that have cracks in. You can also detonate the bomb quicker by pressing 1 again. Slim makes Mario extra thin so enemies can't see him. When activated, enemies will just walk by. There will be sections of the level that will have very tight gaps for the purpose of this pixel. Thudley will make Mario ground pound and deals heavier hit damage to enemies. Carry can take the player across large gaps that can't be jumped or floated across. Fleep can flip red crosses, lightning bolts and enemies which will stun them briefly. Cudge can hammer down yellow blocks and smash enemies, and Dotty can shrink your character down to fit through tiny holes and passageways. As well as finding the pixels, you'll unlock characters too, which are Peach, Bowser and Luigi. Each character has different skills that will help you through each level, but only Mario can flip to 3D mode. Peach has the ability to use a parasol to float long distances. Bowser can breathe fire to attack and deals double damage to enemies, and Luigi, who can jump higher than the others. Characters can be switched by going to the menu and choosing from the list, and the same goes for the pixels. In the same menu, you can use your items you may have bought from the shop. These can aid Mario on his adventure to keep your health topped up or power up Mario. Recipes can be made by the chef to help your health in some way, but I didn't care for all that. There are catch cards that can be found in hidden areas too. These help deal more damage to that particular enemy if you get their card. These can also be bought in the card shop. Once a world has been completed, you'll claim the heart, but you'll need to find the pillar to place it in. These can be found somewhere in the flip side. You'll need to travel some distance in some cases to find them, but it's not a huge task. Once you've placed it in the pillar, the next world will open up. But is this game any good? Yes, I loved it when it came out, but I struggled in some areas, and I couldn't find the pillars. But 17 years later I gave it another go, and it wasn't so hard after all. The game itself offers a balanced challenge with some infuriating moments, but nothing that couldn't be beaten. There's some puzzles to work out which were fun to do, and again it wasn't impossible to work out. All characters control perfectly, and thanks to the minimal number of buttons required to play, you won't need fingers like Betadine to control this. This takes Mario to another level of greatness. It's an unusual idea, but it works really well. My only gripe with it is the amount of dialogue between levels. It becomes unbearable and you can't skip it. It was like playing track and field when this came on. I just want to play the game. If I wanted this much text, I'd read a fucking book. But that aside, it's an incredible game that looks fantastic with the level designs and artwork. It looks like a comic book, and it works really well. There's no speech either. Mario just makes noises and says yes, and everyone else just makes reaction sounds. 2 other games have come out prior to this, Paper Mario on the N64 and The Thousand Year Door on the GameCube. I haven't tried these games, but I heard they are more RPG based, whereas this has a mixture of RPG and platform adventure. It's a long game, which is good, and it's also a great game. It has small annoyances, but still gets an 85% from me. Thanks for watching. If for some strange reason you like my videos, please consider subscribing so I don't feel so unpopular. Do you know what I mean?